I'm Tim Becker, owner of Creative Images Photography, which is a commercial photography studio located on Woodland Street in Manchester. I've been a commercial photographer, I just hit the 40-year mark. I started my business January 1978 as a full-time commercial photographer. I quit my day job and had saved a little money up, borrowed some money, and just started knocking on doors with my portfolio. During college, where I studied at Rochester Institute of Technology in Rochester, New York, I was studying photography, and after my sophomore and junior years, I was fortunate to have summer internships. I worked at what was the Manchester Evening Herald. That was my first summer internship, and then the following year I was fortunate to be a summer intern at the Hartford Courant, and both jobs I learned a tremendous amount. I mean, photojournalism, you could be, basically sent on any kind of assignment, from a terrible accident to a fire to somebody who's getting an Eagle Scout Award. It kind of ranges the gamut, and you got to be comfortable with talking to people and getting photographs in any kind of situation, either a happy one or one that's not so happy. And the key to that was also getting there on time, getting there quickly, and then and that process is you had to get your work processed, and they put out a new edition every day. So that's where I really learned to be conscious of getting the work turned around quickly. I was trained in all formats of film photography. I still have my Nikon F, which I can't bear to part with, but it's more of a paperweight now. I purchased my first high-res 4-megapixel professional digital camera in the year 2000, and for a couple years I kind of shot both film negative and digital camera, just because I didn't have the trust factor, and clients weren't 100% convinced that was how they wanted their work formatted. But after, I'd say, a few years, 2004, 2003, it was that was the norm, and you very rarely saw anybody shoot film anymore. Back in the film days, we had Polaroid backs that would go on either a medium format or 4x5, and we would test our lighting and composition with Polaroids, which were also $2 to $3 a piece, and there was a time lag. You had a minute or two in between each one. Now you look at the back of the camera, immediately whether what you need to do to improve your picture. Also, when they kind of invented what they call the DSLR, which is a digital camera that, as well as taking stills, also takes video. So I had kind of clients that now their expectations in some assignments is you're going to take stills and you're going to take video clips. And I've been successful in a number of projects doing short. I have done some longer pieces, but I like the 1 to 2 minute, which is kind of the attention span max on the web, and offering businesses basically little short commercials for themselves that go up on their website. So I'm offering that service now as well. I do a lot with my super wide angle. I find that on my camera, I have a 12 to 24, and quite often it's at 12. I use that a lot. I also have on the other end a zoom, a telephoto zoom that I really like a lot. It's a 55 to 300, and in the middle, sometimes you're using the other range, but I do a lot with the super wide, and then I do a lot, especially with portraits, with my nice zoom lens. I do quite a bit of professional business portraits. I know that some tendency is to just hold your cell phone out and that's your portrait, a selfie. But if you want professional lighting, professional retouching, and on platforms like LinkedIn or on your business website, you want to look professional. So that's a good percentage of my commercial work. I also do work inside of factories, photographing factory processes, and I do a fair amount of corporate interior photos. People will have building interiors, and also product shots. I do product shots in the studio. I'd say about 90% of my work is on location. I have a portable lighting kit, and in my opinion, any professional photograph should include professional lighting. That's one of the reasons why you'd hire a professional who understands lighting and how to, especially with either group portraits or individual portraits, get the best lighting. And quite often I'm in corporate boardrooms. I also cover corporate events, award ceremonies, annual meetings, that type of thing. I pride myself in a location portrait situation at a company. I've done a number of photos at a law firm or a financial management firm. What I usually do is arrange to come in ahead of time before the scheduled shoot time, get all my lighting set up, and then just try to, as quickly as possible, get my portraits done before people feel uncomfortable or they lose interest or they're worried about the work they're missing. I try to just get their work done promptly, and then the same is true on the back end when I do the editing. I like to quickly, it's one thing that I did learn as a photojournalist, to turn the work around as quickly as I can. And that's one of the things I pride myself in, is get the assignment shot quickly and getting the digital editing done quickly so that you can turn the images over to the client, hopefully less than 24 hours. For me, just going off on my own, having my own business, kind of making my own hours, I need to, working nights and weekends on top of a regular schedule is something I'm fine with. It's kind of a price you pay. Well, of course, I have some real high-powered plug-in strobe lights that I could use if I have to light up a huge area, but I've gotten used to using battery-powered strobes, since the digital camera you don't need quite as much light, and I have basically portable strobe packs. I can set up a portrait setup in about 20 minutes anywhere. I don't have to be plugged in. I don't have cords that people will trip over. I've just got my light stands, my umbrellas, and if I'm going to be roaming around an industrial situation, I have light stands with wheels. So I hook my strobe packs, and I've got 2 stands with wheels, and off we go. Quite often that works perfectly, and I, in some cases, will utilize the existing light and then supplement it with the lights that I have. And I really like working with battery lights as often as I can. Keeps you free to move around and use your lights wherever you need them. A few years ago, I was contacted by Google, who was doing a new program. They were taking their Street View. If you've seen their Street View, they have a Google car that goes all around town and does 360-degree images of every street in town. So they decided to bring that program indoors to businesses, so businesses could profile the insides of their businesses. I've done a variety of wedding venues, restaurants, dentist office, eye care offices, historical sites, retail stores. It's a way of showing the inside of your business, and hopefully, if you're in a retail business, encourage a new customer to come in person and purchase from you. I've also done a lot of new car dealerships as well, their showrooms. It's Google trusted. It's a special logo that I'm allowed to use. They also gave me an ID card with that logo on it and a pullover shirt with my name as Google Trusted Photographer. So they were pretty serious about their branding. Google is all about new content, fresh content, and they also have a program which I'm involved in called Google Guides, where they do encourage their Google Guides, if you're in a restaurant, to take pictures of your meal, take pictures of the outside to kind of share your experience. You know, do a review, Google review of a restaurant or any other retail establishment you might go into. So it's been interesting getting involved in Google, but it's a good brand to have, and it's a good service that I can offer in addition to my still photography. If you like photography, use it to make yourself happy. Use the photography to give yourself joy, you know, to explore whatever specific areas you like. If you like to shoot scenics, you like to shoot wildlife, whatever it is, I would say concentrate on what you really like to do. And if somehow you think, you know, your work is something that someone would like to hire you to do, you know, I would try it. You know, I wouldn't quit your day job right off the bat. I would think, you know, I would try doing any kind of assignments where you might be hired as a professional. You know, try it nights and weekends. You could also contact a photographer and ask if you can assist. Sometimes that's a good way to get started if you're really serious about being a professional photographer. The reason you hire a professional photographer is, especially as a business, is kind of to reflect yourself, whatever business you're in, as also being a professional, and recognizing that, you know, any photography you'd have, say, on your website is the best that you can possibly get. If you, like anything else in your business, if you're going to cut corners, your customers will notice. A professional photographer's main strength, besides, you know, say a portrait, besides being able to make you comfortable in front of the camera, is the lighting and the posing that makes you, and also the digital retouching that makes you look the best. And the same is true if you have a professional photographer do photographs of your product line. You want to always, as a business, to look your best, and because that's your image, and you want your image to always in business to be a professional. And I think hiring a professional photographer is just, you know, a good business decision. Just, you know, if you went to an accountant or a lawyer, would you find the cheapest one, or would you try to, you know, would you try to represent yourself in court? The obvious thing is you want to hire the best professional you can get to represent your business image. Why would you hire me as your professional photographer? Well, first of all, I've got a wealth of experience. I've been doing this for many years. Yes, I've made mistakes, but I've learned from them, and you will have confidence that I'm going to produce an excellent product for you. Also, I have a passion for the work. It's something that I just, every assignment I still get enthused about, whatever assignment I get called to do. And also, I really take pride in my work, and I take pride in getting my work done and getting it out to you in a quick manner. So, and also, I've gotten over the years I believe, the ability to make people feel comfortable, even though they're in front of the camera and they got lights on them. That, you know, I try to talk to people, establish a rapport, and try to get the best portrait that shows their personality.